Good morning, beautiful families. How are you? I hope that everything is well. This is Milka with Kids, Arts and Crafts on Wheels. Sorry, I didn't see you for a couple of days. I had a little cold. I had a little scruffy voice and my nose was stuffy. And if you already had trouble to understand my pronunciation with no stuffy nose, imagine how it would be with a stuffy nose. Okay, and today I wanted to tell you that we are expanding our program. We are not only going to schools with my program, I'm going to your house, your homes. And of course, if you invited me. And especially I am going to homeschool children. And I want to say, well done, families. Is what you're doing for your children, having them be educated in the safety of your home. It's amazing. Although I wanted to tell you that homeschool children are very much in need of emotional intelligence because they're still unprotected when they go outside, if they wanted to later do a trade, pursue academic studies, okay? So SMS, call, or just send a note with a notification with Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Okay. Sorry, I still have a little bit of cough. Pardon me. Empowering parents to build up emotional intelligence in their children. Go to my script, or not to be lost in translations, and now keep to the point. Okay. The idea of build up emotional intelligence in children is a very good reflection, and I'm inviting you to ask me about the program, and with the program we cover lots of things that is intrinsic and is absolutely vital to build up emotional intelligence. And I live in the Central Coast, beautiful here, and I was invited to a child care to come and show my program, and the director very abruptly asked me, oh, how can you do this when children are drawing and painting? And then I didn't want it to come in too much in this question, just handle my program. And then I said, I remember this very much. One of my teachers when I was in school used to tell me all the time, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. What lovely things we found when you are traveling. We just don't concentrate, of course, if you're driving, I beg you do it. But when we are traveling, even in a bus or a train, in an aeroplane, you can use your imagination and you think about the journey. Especially when you are using a car or a train or a bus, you stop, you see different places. It's all about the journey. The destination is your goal. You needed to go to, for example, Melbourne. But the journey is very exciting and you learn lots of things with that. That's why we do with arts and crafts to build up emotional intelligence. And things doesn't happen like that. It's a process. It means step by step, and needs patience, and you have to be persistent. Okay? Let's see what I put in my script. Sorry, my dog is barking because he saw a butterfly. Okay. I want to ask you something. Have you ever found yourself guilty with a decision you made? It was an abruptly decision, impulsive decision. Or perhaps you acted on an impulse and did or said something. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Impulsive decisions. Decisions are very important. And in emotional intelligence, it marks, highlights, and bold the letters decision makings, part of emotional intelligence. So the way we make decisions is an essential aspect of emotional intelligence. And if that decisions that you do in your life that involves your family and children, it will have a great impact. So we always have to think when we do decisions. So I'm going to just to talk about a definition that the gentleman, as he was psychologist at the time, his name is Daniel Goleman. He discovered the idea of emotional intelligence. We don't have not only cognitive, but we also have intelligence, emotional intelligence that we need to understand, recognize, and control it. Okay, he said emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions while acknowledging and engaging with the feeling of others. It's not only about my emotions, it's also about your emotions. That's what calls empathy. And putting myself in your shoes and think, how can I help, or can I understand what you're going through? So he said, emotional intelligence includes a set of skills: empathy, problem solving, interpersonal skills, and the capacity of regulate emotions. Now, a story. And guess who is in this story? Me. Again. Okay. While I was studying in Brazil, I took a subject, and it was interesting. The subject was called Brazil's economy, if we had something about. Okay, the professor came. He was a very nice, mature man, and he came and asked the whole class a question. It was a problem in the agriculture, and he asked that he wanted us maybe he wanted to stir up of our ideas. So, we had cashew nuts trees, one of Brazilian's economy at the time, and I don't know now, but so at the time, like we had here the fruit flies, we have it was a kind of a disease, a fungus, a bug, Well, he asked about what can we do to sort out this problem. And one of my colleagues, his name was Anthony, aka Antonio in Portuguese, he stood up and he wants to talk and wants to give his solution. And he was very, very viral and said, not viral, like manly. And he said, cut all of the trees, pile them together, and burn them, and you get rid of the fungus. The teacher was very democratic. He said, cut the trees and burn in a pile of fire. So, do you know how long does cashew nuts tree grow? How long it takes to bring the fruits and then the nuts? And so our indigenous people in the coastal area was harvesting and living from the profit. He said, do you think the impact on that? And then he said, oh, well, but then you have all the bugs killed. Everyone laughed, and he got a C minus because the teacher thought he was joking, making fun of him. Okay. I was teaching once long ago in Sydney, in the metropolitan area in one child care. And when the mom used to come with the child, asking me, I would ask, how was the night? Everything was fine. And she used to say, oh, it's good or bad. Oh, it was not so well. So then I knew what was coming for us through the day. Well, one day, one of the moms came and I asked the same question. Said, oh, it was horrible. The night was terrible. What happened? Oh, I made this beautiful dinner. I crafted it with my hands, spent hours doing that. And what happened? The children did not want to eat. And then I lost my temper. I threw the food in the bin. And the children were there to eat whatever they wanted. They sacked the pantry. Imagine how the children will be happy, huh? And with that decision, she made a big mistake because the children probably also the same. I don't want to eat my dinner. So, impulsive decisions always lead to bad outcomes. So, it's important that you not only understand what is emotion, but apply it yourself. Have that magic moment to stop and analyze the situation and recognize if you do not act wisely with your emotion intelligence work in your brain, catastrophic moments will come. So, do you remember that when you are in an aeroplane going to whatever place you want to be, the before the aircraft takes up, it comes that little instructions, what happens about when this and that. And there is something that it says, like in the case of lack of oxygen in the aircraft, automatically masks will fall down. And it says very clear, you put yours first in you and then in your child. And it seems to be something very weird because you think I should put first on my child. My children should come first. But that's the thing. If you collapse with no oxygen in you, how can the children manage that? It's not about you're not important. It's about you are most important, because with your survival, your child will survive. The same is true when you have a situation where you need to apply emotional intelligence first. I got here in my list. The first one is reasoning with emotion. That's why you have to start asking questions that will help you to understand what is happening. Not wanting to eat the dinner. Apply two-way communication. Asking questions. And it says in emotional intelligence about this is interpersonal skills is a two-way communication. I ask a question, I listen, you say, and then after I reason about the situation, I will say something. And in this moment, it will come something very important in EI, emotional intelligence, is critical thinking. It's a critical thinking will help you to reflect, not to criticize, but to reflect on how to resolve the situation. And then the fourth step in the situation about the mother complaining the children and she throw everything in the bin. Empathy. It's very important because can you imagine yourself in the place of your child refusing to eat dinner? But why, why? So here comes what happened to me, and when my children were young, my son and daughter, that happens to me very, very much, and a lot of times, until I thought, okay, let's come and cut to the chase. See, my daughter and my son, they still are. They're very visual. They love things. They were pretty with little things, and my daughter especially, and my son, he was always this kind of child who only eat if something appealed to his eyes. Things that all mix up, risotto, forget. I loved risotto, but he didn't like it, so we have to compromise and see what we can do. So what did we do? We came to a compromising strategy. Okay, I made a list. Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, the kitchen was off. The chef, day off. And I said, okay, we are going to make a list for the things you want to eat for dinner. And it works, they made a list. And I had to say, okay, not today's pizza, not today's schnitzel, because my son loved it. I said, we have to have a variety. Okay, I will open the kitchen Saturday and Sunday, and you will eat what I cook, what I like to eat, not what you like to eat. So they wrote it down. They told me what they want to eat every night. And there was no divergence. What you eat, it's what you read, what you wrote, it's there. I will follow what you did. So we had Saturdays and Sundays. You could choose. And McDonald's was a no. Sorry, McDonald's. It was a no. McDonald's, Or, and that comes the cause and effect strategy. I'm gonna to cook what I want. And they knew that what I like to eat, it was not what they like. For example, as I said before, risotto. My son hated risotto. Fish, tuna fish, So they agree with that. So then what's Monday to Friday, dinner was Monday this, Tuesday, and so on and so on. Okay, it did work, but as you know, every family has different dynamics. And I knew my children. So you know your children much better. So you have to come to some compromising situations. Make a list and stick to that. And then some rewards. Who doesn't like rewards? I love rewards. There are rewards if you follow that. So in my case, the reward was Saturday and Sunday nights. They could choose. Look at pizza. They could have anything. Takeaway, Chinese. Okay, let's see. Open-minded. That's what sometimes we have to do. And this is another characteristic. Remember that you need to be firm. Open-minded is when you hear both sides, and you understand, you reason, okay. And then a part of that, you have to have that balance. You have to be firm, but compassionate. As I said here, strong, but empathetic. Open to communicate, and reasonable. And compromising if it's for a positive outcome with the strategy. Okay, let's see what I did on the other side. So, my beautiful families, it is a very stressful situation when you are so tired and then bring the kids home and there is this fast things, but learn to know your children's preferences. What do they like? You like to that too. So when situations come like that, you have to apply lots of things that is in the emotional intelligence skills. So you have to understand that every child has different characteristics. For my son, he didn't like things that are all smashed together, like one pot dinner, unless he could see exactly what carrots, peas, So respecting this, respecting their values. Because it's not a big deal, cook something that is not all smashed together, You can have the rice, the veggies, and the chicken, and it can be chicken with like stroganoff, separate rice and veggies. Respecting their choices is also an important part of empathy. And as I said, with your open-minded approach, asking them, let's find a way to make a dinner a beautiful time, a time that you can enjoy and talk, and not being upset because they did not want to eat the dinner you crafted, artistically cooked. So, beautiful families, let's also use emotional intelligence in ourselves to make sure we can build emotional intelligence in our children. And I will see if I can talk to you again in the middle of the week, maybe not. Life has been really, really busy, and I'm happy because I have other children that I can help. Talk to me. I would have a pleasure to hear from you. And this is Milka with Kids Arts and Crafts on Wheels. Build up emotional intelligence in children, empowering parents to build these children with a rock solid emotional intelligence. Mwah. I'll see you next week.